Yep.
Top of the league, Dennis. Is that how it's going to stay?
Top
for the
of
rest
the
of the
league.
season?
I know, you just got to be. You can't get carried away with it. So we've had a good start. We're only 2 games in. Winning one away from home and then winning our first home game against the champions and possibly one of the best sides for the last 6-7 years. It's like, I know they've made some changes and it's been tough for them, but I think we showed just today that even against a very, very strong Leeds side, we played some good stuff. I'm more impressed with the way we defended and the energy we showed to control a great attacking side.
There were a couple of spells, weren't there, in each half when they had multiple sets on your line, which you repelled. Is that what particularly?
Yeah, that's the thing we've worked on. We've worked on it for a couple of years. I think it's a mindset thing, but there's just a belief and ability, and it's taken us this length of time to get to the stage where we look comfortable defending our line and we look comfortable defending throughout the field, and we respond really well to setbacks and things that don't go our way. So it's an important step for us in our confidence in what we've worked on throughout this year. The change of personnel that have added to the way we can hold our composure and the way we work is really good.
When we spoke last week, you talked a lot about the chances you missed against Wakefield. I was reviewing my notes last night of the game. You scored 10 tries against the champions, and actually, I think I can still count 5 or 6 occasions when you probably should have gone in.
Yeah, we had a couple of occasions where in the first half we had 2 chances where we just put ball down, just that last pass, but it was 2 or 3 things in there that, like I say, have worked really well to create some space. The second half as well, there was another 2 clear chances with just a little bit more accuracy. But we're creating opportunities, and again, what we are doing is we've got a real strong mindset that things aren't upsetting us or pushing us off track. The next play is the most important play. We get back on track with what we want to get out of each individual play and then out of each individual set, and then we'll just build forward on that kind of stuff. So what I will say is it's that, and this is not, I don't want to belittle what we did yesterday. It's a fantastic achievement to play a great side like Leeds and to keep them down to 12 points for a start, to score the points we did and to put them under so much pressure. It's fantastic. Well, you come out of an international series, and I know myself, like you test players, it's hard to start this season. After you've played in front of big crowds and had a test series win especially, the next season's always a tough one. And a side that's also lost some of the greatest players of this modern era in their team. And I don't want to belittle what we've achieved, but it's a big task for them. I thought what we saw yesterday on our part was a really good side. And it's not the fact that we've won so convincingly. I think what you saw was a really good team.
You mentioned Lloyd White in your post-match comments, and I know he's a Welsh international, but I dare say that he can play for England if he so chooses.
No, he can't.
Can't he?
No.
Not even on the residency.
Not even on residency. I don't think he can. I don't think he would. I think he's Welsh in the Welsh.
Yeah, he's Cardiff born, isn't he? Yeah.
I've never had fear about the ability that Lloyd White has and how he can do things that a lot of players can't do. And it's just getting that consistency in his game, building on his skill set to create more accuracy in what he does, and letting him play. He played 80 minutes at 9 yesterday. Well, he played 25 minutes at 13. So he's got a great edge on him. He can whack with the best of them. His technique's outstanding. I don't think there's not a hooker in the game that can pass the ball like he can. No, like saying you speak to both our halves, Kev and Joe, like what he gives them with a quality ball when he hits them, it gives them space and time to be able to do the things that they can do.
And creates tries on his own back with the Sal one. That was a bullet pass. It
was good. Yeah, he's got a great deal of vision. He's just been lacking a little bit of game time more than anything else. He's got confidence in spades. He knows he's got ability. It's just consistently playing and turning up on the field.
Your ability to do what you've done in the last couple of weeks with your substitutions is giving you a lot of attacking options, isn't it? Because at times you've got Lloyd on the field with Kev, Joe, Aaron, and Reece, who can play a bit as well from full-back. So you've got a huge amount of playmaking options, really, haven't you?
Yeah. Like I say, must have just stumbled onto that. I don't know how that happened. No, we've got some good players, some very good players in the team. And you're seeing the confidence in the players that nobody thought had that in their game to start showing the stuff that's in their game. And there's still more to come out of this group. There's a little bit more in our front three. I think there's a bit more of there's more offloading within Manasseh and with Gill, I say. So there's a little bit more play in them. But the recognition of when and why, they're the things we've worked constantly on. And it's about building and creating pressure. But what we, again, go back to the start, what we have got now is we've got the faith in ourselves, or the belief, in ourselves that we can get back behind the ball and enjoy what comes next. I think that was the most pleasing thing, again, I go back to it, is that we attack Leeds' strength with our defence. We've got lots of spare ball, we got a great deal of yardage out of it. We never looked like we weren't in control. And against Leeds, you're always going to get large patches, because of the ability throughout their team, then you lose control of the ruck, you lose control of the ball, and it can be a point where, and what we did to them, which was, well, it was points, next set points. I mean, it was twice in the second half. We scored a try, the next set we scored another try. Like you say, we did that. We scored 4 tries in the second half, back-to-back sets. And that's, again, that was something we spoke about, being able to return onto them.
I'm guessing you watched Salford last week against St Helens, and a lot of focus, again, it's the same with Widnes, a lot of the focus seems to be on Leeds losing rather than Widnes winning, similar with the St Helens Salford thing, but Salford pretty impressive, right?
Yeah, they've done some things over the last year that have gone right. You know, I mean, it took them a few years to get to the point where they put it into the people that actually understand the job. It's not rocket science. It's about understanding that you've got a bloke who's been regarded as one of the best coaches in the world as a director of rugby. He's working with a kid who's really keen, who wants in and wants to coach and wants to learn the game. Has got a good understanding of the game. He's a smart coach. And they've got some structures. Now they've got some players that want to work hard. I think that's your base. And what they did to St Helens was, it was a fantastic performance. They got a good half-back combination now. Dodson with kicking and his play, and also Lewis is dangerous with the ball in hand. Carney's dangerous in the backfield. So they've got some dangerous players. I think their forward pack has just got down and dirty and got hard on themselves and are working hard. It's not magic dust stuff. It's about working hard and leaving the people who actually understand what needs to be done, let them get on with it.
So we've got two, if you want to look very short term about it, you've got two the form teams almost in Super League playing against each other. It's Widnes and Salford, not Leeds and St Helens. I think that's good for the game.
It's nice, as I think and the restructuring and what the RFL did, and they had its critics, and I'm not saying I put my hand up and thought it was the right thing to do, but what it has done is created a playing field now where every single game has some kind of, whether it's a good game or a bad game, the jeopardy gives it to a point where the fans have got to come and turn up and support their team. And even when you're not playing well, you get wins, and sometimes the games aren't great, there's always a feeling that there's something on the line. And that's what we've created now, and I say the quality of the games is going to get better as we get out of Feb and into the spring months. So it's exciting at times. It's an exciting time to be around the game. I think there's a lot of quality in this league at the moment, and not just in the top 3 or 4 teams. We had a couple of lads came off, but because of the control in the game, like Harry Jeremiah came off, and he was just tight. So we've got a good week to work with him. A Sunday turnaround. He didn't do anything to himself. He was smart enough to recognise that the scoreboard was good on our side. We had some people that were healthy on the bench, and like I say, just experience from him to say, I don't think I can, if I carry on any further I might hurt myself, so he came off as well. The same with Chris Dean. He just tightened up through his hips, which was putting some pressure on his groins, but he was quick enough to get off the field before he caused any damage. So we've got a little bit of smartness and understanding as well, and people not pushing themselves beyond that point where we lose them. And they're the things we spoke about in pre-season as well. It's about, we know we've got to go hard, but if we can keep our top 25, 26 players healthy, then we've more chance of being in the mix coming into the year.
And what about Arvan and Gerard, Dennis? Are they likely to be in the mix for this week, do you think?
Yeah, no.
Neither of them.
The good news about Pat is that he's responded really, really well. from like I say, he's got a slight hamstring strain, and he was, like I say, he felt it in the game. He was pretty sore after, but a lot of lads were sore last week in the legs because of the pitch. So we were a bit apprehensive about what was coming out, because he's had some previous in there, and the precursor to long-term hamstring problems is previous hamstring problems. But he's responded exceptionally well, and I said we're going to get him on the field, working, running, and hopefully back in time before the end of the month. So it's a real boost. Saying, like I say, it's not so much of a worry when you see how Steph Marsh played just today, but it's always good to have somebody of Pat's quality fit and ready to go again. And the same with Alex. Alex, it's a culmination of things. His knee's great, everything's really good, but the strain that it's put on the rest of his leg is now we're working through that, and that'll be, hopefully he'll be ready as well to go against or up for selection against Huddersfield.
Just moving on to a couple of other things. The World Club Series this week, Dennis. It was the first time we had this version of it last year. Are you a fan of this concept of World?
I like it. Yeah, I think it's good for the global game. It's good for the British game to see the standards that are set in the NRL. And come on, like I say, it's whether we always do it in this country, I don't know. It's a big ask. It's a tough time of the year because, all right, we've got a little bit going on, and we're playing a couple of games and they're just coming straight out of pre-season. But there's also this time of year when you're carrying a couple of knocks, you've made some changes. In general, yeah, I think what we need to do is we need a better account of ourselves this year. I think last year the Wigan were the closest. This year I think there's only Wigan one in the last couple of weeks to give them that opportunity going into this game against Brisbane. But I think it holds more credence this year because it's top three against top three. So it's a good concept. It's got all the right ideals. We've just got to keep pursuing it to make it well thought of within the game.
Just one final thing from me. I'm reading in the paper that Wayne Bennett's going to appoint an assistant number 2 or what have you, presumably a British coach. Would you like to do it?
Yep.
I consider that a job application.
We'll
send the video in.
No, I'd love to do it.
Would you?
Yeah. But who wouldn't? I think there's plenty of British coaches that would like to work with Wayne and like to work in the national game. I think there's blokes that haven't even been mentioned. I know my name's not been pushed forward that much, and it's when you look at like Paul Anderson, he's a British coach that's taken a side and finished in the top 4 the last 2-3 years. He's won Coach of the Year. Brian Mack, he's tied in with. He wants to probably head coach, and he's going to take a chance to take in America to the World Cup. So I don't know if he's available to be able to go, but I say he's Coach of the Year. He's won 3 trophies last year. Darryl Powell's, again, his name's been mentioned the last couple of years. So there's plenty. Lee Radford's done a good job at Hull. That's good. So there's plenty of British coaches that would probably put their hand up and say they'd like the opportunity to work with Wayne and work in the national team. Me and myself, I'm in that mix. I'd like to be involved internationally.